Just when you thought the NFL couldn't get any crazier, the Super Bowl is upon us. We have two quarterbacks in the Super Bowl we didn't think we would have. And yet the coaching carousel is what's driving the news. And not only is the coaching carousel driving the news and the fact that we only have one black head coach in the NFL, but Brian Flores, the one black coach that got fired during this turnaround, has come out with a lawsuit against the NFL. And we're going to hit all the topics today here at SOS. But what I want to first talk about is how he had text messages from Bill Belichick stating that you got the job for the New York Giants job, which was really intended for the offensive coordinator with the Bills, but was 4 days before my man Brian Flores even got a chance to be interviewed. And the whole take here is just to fulfill the Rooney Rule, my guy was just gonna have the interview with no chance at all to even get the job. Now, we talk about this all the time. These guys deserve a chance. The league is full of black players, but no black coaches. And I think it just shows what the league thinks of players. They think they can do things physically, but not mentally. And you're not even giving Brian Flores a chance. And we see it all the time, but this time we have proof. And I think it's going to change the NFL for a long time. And Brian Flores might not ever coach again in the NFL, but at least he makes his impact with those text messages with Bill Belichick and a lot of other things. What else we got, Andrew? What else we got?
You know, you talked about that impact. The very first sentence of that disposition was like, I'm calling all my ancestors, Harriet Tubman, all of them. I'm calling
First day
Martin
of
Luther
Black
King.
History Month.
First day of Black History Month came with this bombshell. And it's true because we all know about the racist history of the NFL. You talked about cognitive things. Well, guess what? There's that whole issue talking about, you know, the concussion lawsuit, which they talk about in that disposition. They talk about how black players were thought to have a lower threshold of higher mental cognitives, which is racist as heck coming from a league. But now also too, you talk about how, you know, you talk about if you're head coaching, you have to be quote unquote smart to do that. Black quarterbacks were not thought smart enough to hold the position of a quarterback. Well, guess what? It's hard for them to get offensive coordination positions. Rooney Rule kind of is just, hey, you're here, you're a black player, but you're not really given an opportunity to actually be a head coach. They just bring whoever black player and they don't even give them the time of day. There's further proof about this when you talk about the fact that the Broncos allegedly brought in not Brian Flores. I was about to pull a Bill Belichick, Brian Flores into the building in order to have a conversation. And they came in disheveled and they looked like they were hung over. And it looked like they didn't really take him seriously. In fact, they came an hour later after they were supposed to. Now, the Broncos are, of course, trying to save face and say, we were on time and we apologize because we were working so hard at 2 a.m. to make sure we were finding the next candidate. But you look at some of these black coordinators, all right? There was one coordinator who had interviewed for 10 different head coaching positions, never got a single offer. All right. You have Eric Bieniemy, still hasn't had an offer. It's hard for black coordinators to actually have a shot. Isn't that right, Jamar?
I couldn't agree anymore. And not only have a shot, but then if you do get there, really get a shot there. When we look at Brian Flores, he was in Miami and they were trying to pay him to lose games. They were trying to pay him to lose games. And not just a little bit of money, $100,000. Now, that may seem like a lot of money, whatever, but we're talking about this man's career. Black head coaches, if they get a shot, they're probably not getting another one if they're not successful in that one. We talk about all the time in America in general, we just don't have as many opportunities. We can't fail. We're representing so many. When Brian Flores took the job in Miami, he was not only doing good for his career by winning games, but every single other black person who aspires to be a head coach in the NFL. And when the owner is telling you, I need you to lose games so I can get a good draft pick, he's not only saying that I want a good draft pick, but I don't care about your own career and what it means for the entire NFL. And that's a problem. And I commend Brian Flores for doing what he's doing. And you even look at other head coaches like a David Culley. He was given a team that we knew wasn't going to do anything. And they fired him off the rip after the new season. I think black coaches not only aren't given an opportunity, but even when they're given the said opportunity in the interview, it's not respected. And then if they do get the job, we're already expecting to get rid of you because we want somebody that looks like us.
You want somebody that looks like you. You want somebody, as you know, that's what the mayors are trying to say and save face that, hey, we knew Brian Dabble. We had that relationship to you. Well, guess what? After years and years of not actually having a serious shot, it becomes an issue. Only one black head coach has been in one place, and that's because the Steelers organization has a commitment to keeping that same head coach. It doesn't even matter. You talked about, hey, if you win, hopefully you can retain yourself. Brian Flores is an example that you can't. Lovey Smith. There are players like Tony Dungy. All right. Jim Caldwell. It doesn't matter how well you actually perform. You're not going to have a serious shot. And so you look at, not only you talk about the racial implications of paying somebody $100,000 to basically ruin their own chances at a job. And right now they're putting out more information to ruin his career, right? By having all of that, talking about how he's an angry black man and is combative and can't work with people, right? And then you look at the sports betting implications. You look at the fact that that owner, Steve Ross, invested 2019, the same year that happened, invested a whole bunch of money into a gambling organization, gambling ring. And so you look at that. If you are an owner, you're paying your head coach to lose, but then you also pay some money also in your sports book for your team to lose as well. You get paid. It's a Ponzi scheme. You're getting paid to lose, and you're getting a whole bunch of money. So there's plenty of implications. This will blow the league wide open. And right now, NFL teams are reeling because guess what? They're trying to save face, putting all these statements because they know just how serious this is. You look at the history, David Snyder, Cal McNair. This is huge, how much the NFL is racist. So, I mean, thankfully, he's putting his coaching job on the line for the next generation, but it's unfortunate that all this has to happen.
And if you need any more confirmation that this isn't racially based, I had a discussion with one of my friends. This is how we'll end it. Joe Judge was the special teams coordinator for the New England Patriots. And a case we hear all the time is, well, the coaching trees, we wanted the coaching tree. My man, Brian Flores, was a defensive guy under Bill Belichick, and he doesn't get the same opportunity at the same team Joe Judge was the head coach for. I don't know what to tell y'all. Brian Flores is loved by his players. He just isn't loved by the white owners that own the NFL. Y'all tell us what y'all think. This is Spot On Sports, where we're not just accurate, we're spot on. Peace.